Highguard released today. It's a hero raid shooter made by the same developers as Titanfall, Apex Legends, and Concord. The game got off to a pretty rough start, getting review bombed almost instantly after release. A lot of people came in with a negative mindset, I think, from the Concord situation, which came out and then was shut down a few weeks later. I wanted to just make a video, talk about the game, talk about what I like, talk about what I think could be improved, and give honest feedback, because while I don't think this is a perfect game, I don't think it's as bad as the Steam reviews say. Everything here, I streamed on my Twitch. Go ahead and follow me. The link is in my description. And give me a subscription here, please. I talk about a lot of cool stuff on this channel. The game starts out with a looting phase. There's 3 phases to the game. It starts out with the looting phase. You basically want to go around the map, open up chests. The red ones give you guns. The blue ones give you shield and armor. You want to also go around and look for blue crystals. These blue crystals you're going to be able to use to buy things at the shop. Now, this is a slower part of the game. The other team's also doing this at the exact same time. So you do want to be careful. What I found through the 3 hours that I played on release day, that you don't really run into the other team unless you go really far looking for loot. But you only have 2 minutes to loot up, buy things from the shop. So it's not a crazy amount of time to get insanely looted. It's nice to go get a little bit of shield, get a little bit of weapons. Maybe 1 or 2 of your weapons can be upgraded before you have to move on. The second phase of the game is where the Stormbreaker sword appears, and you want to fight for the sword because it's very important. If you get the sword and take it to the enemy base, then it's your opportunity to raid the enemy base, and vice versa. If they get the sword and take it to your base, you have to defend your base from being raided. Once you plant the sword in the enemy's base, a giant tank with a cat on the front is going to appear and break the shield that is protecting the base, and that's how the raid starts. There are 3 objectives, 3 generators that you can choose. You want to destroy 2 of them. There's a third one where if you destroy that one, the game ends right there. So if you can, or you're behind, or you are just shitting on the team, you can go and do that one, or you can just use the other two generators and defeat the team that way. There's a lot of different ways to get in. You want to try to break down their base. You can destroy the walls using abilities. There's also a C4. So there are multiple ways to go about trying to destroy the enemy team. And after each raid, you go back to a looting phase where you can buy and you wash, rinse, repeat, and get better guns, get better loot, get better armor to eventually take over the enemy base. So it's a very different gameplay loop than a lot of hero shooters out there. It's not a hero team shooter like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. It's not exactly like Apex Legends, which is like a hero battle royale. It kind of has a mix of a lot of different things in a game mode that is new and different. I wouldn't say that I disliked it. I wouldn't say that it was the most amazing thing. The game also has a slew of characters that you can pick from with different abilities. Some of them are more defensive, some of them are more attack, some of them are more support. And so you can pick a character that fits your playstyle for how you want to play. Is there anything else? All right, I think that's really it. So let's talk about the things that I like and the things that I did not like. Things I liked. I liked the gunplay. I think the guns were super solid, very easy to use. There was definitely some skill to it. I also like the mounts. The mounts there are 3 different types of mounts, but it's a great way to traverse around, and you can use them. So you can be creative in how you use your mount in a fight. If you're in the big open area, you can get a shot off, use your mount to run away or reposition yourself. So it makes it very fast. Whereas when you're on your own 2 feet, you're extremely slow when you're running on your 2 feet, but the mount makes up for it because you're able to run and gun and shoot here and run there. And once I learn the game a little bit more and I can implement the mount into my playstyle, it can be very, very fun. Another thing I liked is the game mode. So this isn't when you play the game, if no one told me anything, I would say this reminds me of Apex Legends. The chests look very similar. Looting looks very similar. I don't know why, but this game, same thing with Titanfall, they love zip lines. I don't know if they felt they perfected the zip line meta, but they love zip lines. They're everywhere, and they're a big part of the gameplay. Now let's get to it. Let's get to the things that I disliked. A lot of people online were talking about it's not very optimized. I didn't see that as much, but I do have my PC isn't on the lower end, so I could understand where other people are coming from. I did not like the loot mode. So the beginning of the game, for the first few minutes, where you're just going around trying to open chests, I didn't like this time in the game because it just felt like busy work in school. You start off with a gun instantly, and you can buy the guns you want from the shop. So going around and opening up the chests seems useless to me. It wasn't fun. It didn't seem valuable. What I ended up doing was just getting as many of the crystals as I possibly could and going to the shop. I think you have to do one or the other, where I buy my items or I loot for my items. I can't do both. And the looting phase, because you don't really run into the other team. Now, it was the first day, and maybe as gameplay progresses and people get better, we're going to be able to do different types of things. But today, from the first day that I played, not much was really going on in that first initial phase. It literally just felt like go run around just to run around, and then the game will start after a 2 minute intermediate period. The 3v3, that's probably one of the biggest gripes that I had, and then I also got a friend that came online to play, and the 3v3 just feels so small. The maps are huge, they're so expansive, and to just have 3 people on the map, where really, especially during the looting phase, you're just running around with your team to going to different areas. If there were 5 people on your team, or even maybe a 3v3v3 mode where there's more people and you're in and you have to actually fight for the loot that's around, I think that could make it better. I really just don't like the 3v3 with how huge the maps are. I don't think, at least add another person, but I think a 5v5 or a 3v3v3 is what's needed. The last thing I did not like was the reinforcing walls or protect your base phase. It felt not needed, honestly, or it just revamped in a way, because the way it works now, I can reinforce walls, but all that does is, instead of 1 rocket launcher to blow up my base, it takes 2. Instead of, and I think the C4s that you can plant on the wall, they do the exact same thing whether the wall's reinforced or not. So it felt useless at the beginning of the game to reinforce the walls. What I'd like to see is more customization for my base. I like to be able to move my generator around to places that I could put it, and I could hold down my base better, instead of my generator just being right in the middle and I guess reinforcing walls. But there's so many walls and you can't reinforce all of them, where the team is just gonna come in. And anyway, if they wanted to get in using a grenade launcher, they could. If they wanted to get in using the C4s on the wall, they could. So I think that's something that could be improved. Now, while this game is not perfect, I did have fun, and I'm gonna keep playing it on my stream here moving forward. I just think that the game has a lot of aspects that could be improved on, and it's not 100% all the way there yet. But to review bomb the game and say it's mostly negative for a free game the first day it came out, I think is ridiculous. If it was a $60 game, I could understand not being the most happy about it, but it didn't feel genuine when I downloaded the game, looked at the gameplay, played my first game, and then went back to the reviews and just saw negative things being said. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel real. And I'm not saying that this is a perfect game and this is the best that the game will ever be. I think they could definitely fix and improve a lot of things, but it it just felt overkill, the review bombs. Now it's a fun game, and I'll probably play it a little bit, but I'm also a game fiend as well. So I'll probably, depending on how things go, I might make another review, maybe 20 or 30 hours in if I get that far. But at least right now, I do want to play again, see what it's like, learn the characters, learn the game a little bit more. So that's it. Follow, subscribe. Let's get this channel to 2,000 subscribers.